again, you can't perpetrate a new Vietnam policy overnight. We are in a stage of negotiations. Now, I think what Senator McGovern would like for us to do is just throw in the towel in Paris and give the enemy what they want. If that's what he means by a new policy, well, that's not the kind of new policy we're going to have.
Do you know anything about the new policy that you could tell us?
Well, I think that the President is not going to settle for a cut-and-run solution, a thinly veiled surrender, face-saving accommodation. I think that he is going to insist on a settlement that will be a viable settlement and that will reduce the likelihood of war breaking out elsewhere in Southeast Asia.
How is he going to accomplish this?
You accomplish it by sticking to your guns and by not giving the enemy everything he asks for.
Does this mean that there will not be any significant troop withdrawals in the near future?
I don't think that there will be any significant troop withdrawals, at least while the current communist offensive is going on.
One thing I'd like you to clarify for me, Gene, if you would. Back, I think it was a week ago, you spoke to the Student Congress and you introduced a resolution at that time which said, and I'll quote from it, "Whereas any further interference by whites to solve black problems will be regarded as a manifestation of white paternalism." Now, I ask you, it seems to be your contention that the whites are in control. If you don't want them to interfere in solving it, who's going to solve your problems?
See, when I said that, I said interfere in solving the problem. I mean, they talk to us. That's what that statement means. In fact, they don't come in and tell us what to do. They don't come in, as so many times they've done before, behind closed doors. They've talked over problems of blacks, and consequently they've solved the problems of blacks, supposedly. And the blacks don't know anything about it. And this is where the interference is.
Are you saying, in essence, that you want to give them the solutions and have them act on them?
Yes.
Do you feel that that's a fair thing to do in view of the ratio of students?
I feel it's extremely fair. The thing you've got to look at is the black student is going to be in a minority no matter where he is.
Okay. Now, what are some of the points, if you were going to have to demand, say, 5 of your 20 to be acted on instantly, what points do you feel are most, as you put it, where the university has its foot on your head?
All of them.
Voters have long been aware of the desire of the Negro population to have representatives on the Dallas City Council. Not as well publicized has been the campaign of Latin American citizens to have their representatives on that same council. The issue became public last year, and in this council election, 3 candidates with Latin backgrounds are running for council seats. Here are their views on the issue.
I do feel that they need representation in our city government to communicate their needs and suggestions so that they will feel that they are part of city government and that we would have a Spanish-speaking person that can communicate with a Mexican-American citizen so that they can respond to self-values for the good of all.
I call your attention to the fact that Mayor Eric Johnson said in last November that the Mexican-American population was of not a significant proportion. That is correct. But Mexican-Americans, Negroes, whites, everyone in our community needs an effective voice on the council, and I feel that I can provide that effective voice.
Mr. Hernandez, do you feel that the City Council has slighted minority groups by its actions in the past?
Yes, I think they have, and I think not just minority groups, I think all little people, so to say.
There are arguments that a small body such as the City Council has no way to guarantee representation on the basis of population. For this reason, both Negroes and Latin Americans on the Dallas City Council must be aware that they represent all Dallasites. But almost certainly, at least one minority group after this election will have seats on the council. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News.
The Fort Worth Police Department, working in conjunction with Tarrant County mental health authorities, is now designing a program whereby policemen, during their initial training and in subsequent in-service training, will learn more about mental aberrations, mental retardedness, and other forms of insanity, whereby they may, in their daily encounters with people who have some sort of mental disorder, be able to work more adequately with those people. 44-year-old John McDonald May has been released on $1,500 bond following a charge of assault on a police officer today. May was accused of the assault after an incident in which his daughter was involved in a minor traffic accident. It was in February of 1967 that May's wife, Mildred, was found strangled to death, her nude body on a levee here in Fort Worth. Ben Barnes, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, was supposed to be in Fort Worth today to address a gathering of county judges and commissioners. He couldn't make it because of a bad back, so he sent his right-hand man, Representative Ralph Wayne, from Plainview. Wayne delivered a speech which Barnes had prepared. Among those topics in the speech was narcotics, and one of his observations was that narcotics is becoming a very serious problem in the state, and that Barnes has pledged state government action to take whatever means are necessary to halt the problem, particularly where narcotics are involved with teenagers. In Fort Worth, Jerry Taft, Channel 8 News.
Mr. Pettigo, we are real interested in your question concerning the Hahn Freeway and the South Central Expressway. We too have been concerned about this problem for many years. We have a 3-lane freeway and a 2-lane freeway merging into 3 lanes. And when we have a situation of this nature, we always have many conflict points. Although you indicated that enforcement might be the answer, we feel that maybe education or a revised geometric design would better meet the situation. We are presently studying this problem and hope to devise some means of better communicating with the motorists at this location.